This is my workshop. It's roughly 45 feet long, and as you can see, there's still way too much stuff in it, unfortunately. So I've come to the decision, some of these bikes that I'm never going to get around to, or that I've fallen out of love with a bit, are going to have to be fixed up and sold, and I'm going to buy a big bike with the money. I've got my eye on a 1976 Suzuki GT500, which belongs to a friend of mine, so I need to get a couple of grand together fairly sharpish. So we have several project bikes, you maybe can't see them, under a tarp over there, and we're going to get working on a couple of those for now, so that I can at least get all my bikes in the shed and preferably have room to walk around. So hopefully we're going to have a series of bike fixing marathons. Sorry about the fact that I haven't had many videos out recently. I've mainly been riding around on Tomos's. All for the last 18 months rather than actually fixing things. And as you can see, things are piling up here. That is part of a powder coating oven I've been building, which is going to be possibly a series, even though I didn't get a chance to film much of it. And so we'll hopefully be doing some powder coating soon as well. But first, let's go look at the bike. Okay, so here's what was under that tarp. That's one of my main bikes there, which I can't actually fit in the shed at the moment, unfortunately. But I've been riding that to work quite a bit. This is a 2015 AJS Medina, which I'm doing up for a friend of mine. It's a 4-stroke, so I'm not that interested in it, and it's a sort of plastic Vespa type thing. Frames and things I'm gonna maybe do something with. That is the first bike I ever bought, Garelli Concorde V3, which is probably going to be sold as is, probably not for very much money either. The Mobilette and the Corrado, that's another Corrado, it's not one of the two from my previous videos. That one is, those two, sorry, are I think sold as rolling frames as a pair. I think I've got a buyer for those already. That is my Honda Vision, which is MOT ready, but I don't have the time to take it for an MOT. And that is, I think, the bike we're going to be working on today, which is a 2002 ex-Pizza Hut Honda City Express SH50. So I'll dig that out and we'll see where we're at with it. So let's have a quick look around then. Honda SH50 City Express, 2002. The tyres are not cracked and seem to have good tread, so that saves quite a bit of money straight off the bat. Mirror missing, not difficult. This bit of tape here is holding that on, so I'll have to find out why that's so loose. I assume the mounting screws are broken. You can get parts for broken ones of these fairly cheaply. The speedo needle has actually snapped off and is pointing the wrong way, so that could potentially be a problem. May have to get a new speedo for it. I have the exhaust, even though it's missing. I also have the rear rack, even though it's missing, and the seat has been cut down to put a Pizza Hut box on the back, I presume. I do have a full seat. How you get to the mechanism to pop the seat, though, if it's a full seat, I don't know, because that's where that is. It's 2-stroke oil injection. There is oil in there. Feels weird and sticky under here though. There's the fuel. I can't see any in there, it appears to be dry. Plastic tank, so it won't have rusted. No battery, which is fine. I've had this probably 8 years without doing anything with it, so the battery would be dead anyway. It's got a front disc brake. Yeah. The one thing that is missing is the top end. I do have it, but it needs attaching on, and the cylinder either needs honing or replacing. I don't know if we'll get away with a hone. It does look quite scored and a bit rusted, but you never know, it's worth a go before I spend the money. So that all needs going on as well. I presume they took the cylinder off for some reason, so maybe it's not savable. And I've got the keys as well, but unfortunately, as far as I know, the keys are in that corner beyond all of this. So wish me luck. So I'm going to do these two 10mm nuts here, which should take the seat off. Ironically, I sorted out all my cheap Chinesium spanners and gave them to my little boy to use, and he's left them outside for a few weeks, and now they're the only ones I can get to because my shed's in such a state. So yeah, irony, never mind. They seem to work better than I thought they would anyway. Okay, so progress. Remove these two 10mm bolts and this 13mm, which I assume will hold the rack on. There were 1, 2, 3 Phillips head screws, a larger Phillips head screw there. So now this comes off, I think. I'll probably have to take the cap off the oil reservoir for that. Yeah, there's a little rubber grommet as well, but that will come off anyway. And then I think these two bolts here and the plastic should come off the top, and I'm not sure if these side panels will be free by then as well. These are undone, and then it seems to be held on by these horrific rotten things, which I don't really feel like messing with at the moment. They could do with a good compressed air blast out. There is also that which holds on the, I assume that's an access point for the spark plug. I haven't seen anywhere else where it's attached, but it seems to be clipped around here. It obviously used to be a screw there, and there is it's a plastic rivet there. So those are the next two to go, and then hopefully we'll get in there. Okay, it's now just the ignition, it's now just this holding it on. Do you know what, we'll leave that like that. Engine access isn't great, is it? So that's where the cylinder would be, under the shroud. So we need to take the other side off now as well. Okay, that side came off a lot easier, and now it looks like that shroud should be held on by a lot more things, but it's actually just this one bolt. So let's get the 10mm. Take that off, and it should release both shrouds by the looks of things. It's not 10mm. Alright, try a smaller one. $8mm. Okay. Let's hope it's 8mm, because otherwise I'm out of spanners. Ah, yes. Do it left-handed. And we can finally see what we're working with. Now, I've had this bike a long time. I bought it on eBay, and I fully intended to restore it to Pizza Hut standard with the correct back box and everything, top box. I never got round to it, and to be honest, it's too big really. So it's got to go. Right, that turns over. There's a rag over the hole, which is a good sign. Let's see if I can do it without getting all that dust and crap in there. I'm going to need 2 hands for this because I don't want to get any schmoo in there. Okay, so here's where we're at. I have spent a while de-schmooing this. I almost didn't get any bits in when I lifted this horrific, what is that, sawdust, pollen? When I lifted that rag off, I almost didn't get any bits in. So what I've done is just spent ages giving it quite a decent clean, make sure that there's no trace of that left. There was like 5 or 6 little grains of it, if you like. So I've gone through that. It turns over nicely. You can feel the magnets on the ignition because obviously there's no compression to smooth it out. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. There's a little side-to-side play which is normal. There's no up and down play whatsoever. It feels to move nice and freely. So I'm happy with the crank. As it goes round, you can see 2-stroke oil coming up. So it must be fairly well full of 2-stroke oil. I've had a quick look underneath. I can't see a drain plug. So my options are turn the bike upside down and drain it out that way, which I'm worried about bits going in, or leave it, hope it doesn't hydrolock when I first start it, and then just keep it running until it all burns off. It'll be smoky for a while. Not ideal, because I'm hoping to, when I get it going, take it more or less straight for an MOT. But as you can see, there's quite a lot to do before then anyway, so it may have to go on its side. I don't have any studs. I'm going to see if Tomos or Maxi studs, if I've got any studs basically in my shed that would fit it. I do have a gasket set and I need to hone the cylinder. So I guess those are my next couple of jobs. As soon as I got the top of it muck tight, if you like, a cylinder on it, I'm going to get rid of all the cobwebs and shit. Obviously normally I'd have washed it before I started and cleaned all the crap off, but with it just having a rag over there, I didn't want to get water and bits in there any more than I had to. So unfortunately this is the lesser of 2 evils. It has been sat like that for the past I think I bought it in 2015, so what's that, 7 years? It's been sat like that. So it has done surprisingly well. I'm going to do everything I can to clean it out. It even has the top end bearing here. It's a roller bearing type, which is good, as you'd expect on a 2002. I'm going to replace that, I think. I might try and get away with flushing it out, but for the cost of whatever they are, I might as well just get a new one, hadn't I? It'd be like a tenner. Yeah, so that is the next task. You can see here the carburettor, it's got auto choke on it, big airbox on the side there, and then the exhaust would come and mount onto these. I'm too zoomed in, aren't I? Hang on. Nope, okay. It only lets me zoom in. Excellent. Well, that's marvellous. But yeah, so that is the plan, is basically keep stuff from going in there, maybe put a fresh rag in for now, and see if I can get the top end together for it. Once I get the top end on, I just need to find the keys. I'll probably replace the fuel in the tank because that's old. Put a battery on it and see if we can get it started. If we can get it started, test ride, have a look round, check the brakes and things. It might need new brake fluid as well, because it does have the reservoir type brakes, and then go about doing cosmetic things like the speedo, this loose binnacle thing here, all of that jazz, and then it should be MOT ready hopefully once it's clean. Okay, so as you can see at the bottom there's quite a big score, so I suspect it's not that bad really, but I suspect this cylinder could be beyond saving for the SH50. I've given it a quick wipe out with some 2-stroke oil, and it seems, the rest of it seems okay. Not in the best of condition, but a bit of honing might help. So got a little 2-stroke oil there, little lid. Put a collection of hones. Let's see what we can do with it. I'll keep going a bit more. Oh. Okay, so there it is honed. I'm quite pleased with how well it came out, really. The inside of the cylinder looks quite good. You can see the cross hatchings on there as well, which come from honing, which increases the compression. What doesn't increase the compression is, can you focus? That score there, just on the left hand side between the ports. That's, if there's a reason I won't be using this cylinder, it's that, but I think we're going to try it. A new cylinder on these is between 60 and 100 pounds, so if I can save that money, that'll be a lot better. I've got to work on the gasket faces because they're suboptimal, but easy to do. I can't really do any more with it at the moment now, purely because I don't have the studs, so I'm going to have to try and order some studs, and then we'll be coming back to this beast another day. Right, okay, I'm going to need new cylinder studs, so for now I'm going to move on to the next job, which is revealing what's going on with this tape. Now, it seems to me that that screw there isn't screwed in all the way. So what else is going on? That comes all the way, right, okay, so that mounting thing is snapped. There's a mounting point there that's also snapped, and then that one there snapped. Okay, that explains quite a lot then. So that's going to wobble around. Is there another way of mounting it? Let me get back to that one. So in amongst my hoard, I've found this pack of brand new, never used studs. They're 105mm long, and I'm not sure if they're for, I think they're for a maxi, so they are M6, but they could be for a Tomos, in which case they'll be M7. Test fit on here, just with one stud. Got the top end on. Plenty of meat on there to thread onto. So I think we might be go again, and I'm pretty sure I've got a brand new piston for this as well. So if I can find that, I've got all the rest of the stuff. We can get the top end together and see if we can start it, or at least see if we can find the keys. Okay, so I've decarbonised the top of this piston as best I can using a decarbonising drill attachment. This is the original piston that came with it. You can see there, I don't know if it's seized a little bit or something there. There's obviously that giant score there where it's clearly eaten something, and it's in line with where the ring gap goes. So I don't know if something got caught in there, or a bit sheared off that, or something, but it is quite a deep score in there. There's also a bit of blow by and things like that, but it does look like it's soft seized at some point, doesn't it? So I'm going to see about availability of these pistons. If I can get one, I'll replace it if it's not too expensive. Otherwise, I might try sanding this one and see if we can get anywhere with that. I'm a bit hesitant to put it back in with that big score out of it, but what's the worst case scenario? It makes the score in the cylinder worse, and we replace both of them. It's not that bad, I suppose. I think you can buy a kit for about £110, something like that. So we'll find out.